Welcome, beautiful soul. My name's Virginia, and this is my yoga channel. I share for freedom, peace of mind, love. So let's practice.
Okay, welcome, yoga friend. Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to share a yin yoga practice with you today. So, you're going to need some cushions, perhaps from your bed or your sofa, or if you have your yoga bolster, perfect. And you're also going to need a strap. So, if you have, again, your proper yoga strap, great. But you can also use the strap from a dressing gown. There are other options. You can use a scarf. So find those props and improvise as needed. Because today we're going to work on opening the shoulders, and we're going to do a few stretches also for the quadricep muscles. This yin yoga practice is geared towards helping you to deepen your back bends. Or maybe you've been doing my handstand press challenge video and just your shoulders need a little bit of love. Remember, in your yin yoga practice, it's so important to melt as much as you can into the postures. This is where we're allowing our ligaments, our joints to stretch out. It takes a bit of time, but also what helps facilitate that opening, that lengthening, is this melting energy of the body and a really deep, slow breath. Okay, we're going to get started in a cat-cow position. Perhaps you're moving some of your props to the side if you've collected all your things like me. And we're going to bring our shoulders over the wrists. The knees and hips are into alignment. Tuck your tailbone under, round your spine one vertebrae at a time on your exhale. And then we're going to dip down through the lower back, the mid back, the upper back. Draw the shoulder blades down the back and look up. Inhalation. Exhale, you round. Inhale to extend the spine. Let's do a couple more like this. Good. One more of each. All right, and now let's explore the space. So perhaps like a little wiggle of your bum, a figure of 8, fast or slow, forwards, back, whatever feels nice. Maybe close your eyes. Good. Okay, and we'll take a downward facing dog. Before our first long hold posture, let's just give a little bit of love to those hamstrings and the spine. So pedal out your feet, let your head hang heavy. Wonderful. One more full breath. And then let's hold still for 5 breaths, finding that firm foundation. Flare out your fingertips, lengthen your chest towards your thighs, and get this sensation of, as your fingertips are lengthening into the mat, it's also stretching out the side of the body in equal amount on each side. Tailbone lengthening to the back of the room or the back of your mat, whatever that means for you. And it's absolutely okay if those knees are bent. Let's take one more full breath here. Expand the rib cage on your inhale. Okay, lovely. So we're going to bring the knees back down. And we're going to allow the chest to lengthen all the way down to the mat. Take your arms out to the side with your elbows bent. And we're going to rest the right cheek on the mat. If that means that you need to change ends to face towards me, that's fine. But I recommend doing the right side first, right? And then from here, you're going to keep the elbows bent. So you might have taken this posture before with the arms straight. But with your elbows bent, it's going to help you actually to get a deeper stretch. And you could always ease it off if you need to after. All right, so now that you've got that position, you're going to stack the left hip on top of the right, just turning the torso to the side and keeping that right elbow bent, and the shoulder, you should already feel a little bit of energy there, that stretch coming into play. We're now going to bend the left knee, sole of the left foot on the ground behind the right thigh, and then your left elbow, bend the elbow and take the hand behind the back. Now, already I'm feeling it. It's an intense stretch. So if it feels a little too much, but you still want to get most of the benefit of the posture, that deepening of it, then you can stack the knees and have them bent, but still have the right elbow bent as you're still allowing that pressure of the right shoulder into the ground. And also, you can use your cushions, your props to help you. Perhaps your head needs a little bit of love. All right, we're going to take 3 minutes here. So I'll be pretty silent, bit more quiet now to allow you to come into a more meditative state. Breathe slowly, breathe deeply, every exhalation releasing you into the ground. And remember, if it gets too intense, the right arm could be straight out to the side. Okay, so around the last 10 breaths, if you'd like to make it a little bit deeper, perhaps you bent the knees like me and you want to uh, re-deepen that stretch. Your left knee bent, sole of the foot on the ground. Or if you need to ease off, that's also fine. 5 more deep breaths. Okay, gentle release. And we're going to move any props out to the side. And just take a little moment. Stretch your arms forwards with the little fingertips down. It will just give that right shoulder a little bit of time for some feedback from the posture. And rest your forehead onto the mat. Okay, so we're going to come straight in for that second side. I'm going to take it to the other end of the mat, just so again you can see me a little bit better. Perhaps you need your pillow. Laying onto your stomach. Elbows bent out to the side. Left cheek down. Stacking the right hip on top of the left. Just be mindful of my mic. All right, and then we're going to bend the right knee, sole of the foot on the ground, right arm behind the back. Now, one side might feel a little bit tighter than the other. My left is always tighter. But do what you need to do to be able to get through the time without feeling too much discomfort. Okay, we're expecting a little bit of discomfort, but not sharp shooting pain or way too intense. Somewhere in the middle. Okay, 10 more breaths. If you'd like to deepen like me, come back to the most intense version of the stretch. Or stay as you are, maybe even ease off a little bit if you need to. Okay, and then gently release again. Stretch your arms out in front of you with the little fingertips down. Moment for feedback from the posture. All right, and now from here, come back into your cat cow. Shoulders over wrists, knees and hips into alignment, round the spine. Extend the spine. One more of each. Okay, lovely. Now, I'm going to sit onto the heels and take the strap now. And you've got to find what works for you. I do this quite a lot. So for me, when I was looking to deepen some of my back bends and go into some of those more difficult postures, my shoulders were so tight until I started to utilize this strap. So perhaps you're going to start quite wide. You're going to take the arms all the way up and over the heads and then forwards. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, and then perhaps you just want to just creep it in a little bit. Make it a little bit shorter. Be mindful. Now, find your edge. Where is it the tightest in your range of motion, that tightest spot? And we're going to take 30 breaths. So, embodying a little bit of the yin practice, not one of our traditional yin poses, but we can stay here and soften the rest of the body. Halfway. Ten more breaths. Five more breaths. Okay, slowly, slowly, bringing it forwards. I'm going to lie onto the back and just allow a little bit of feedback. from that posture. So our shoulders, they're related to our heart chakra. A little bit of the throat, right? It's in the middle. And the heart chakra connected to our emotions, our expression, our creativity, our vulnerability. The shoulders can be carrying a lot of emotional energy. So let that go now. Let it float away, any stagnant energy that you no longer need. Every exhalation, just to release. No need to carry the weight of the world on the shoulders any longer. Okay, now slowly hug your knees in. We'll take a little rock back up. We're going to come into one more for those shoulders, your puppy pose. So you might want to use your cushion to make this a little bit more intense. So sometimes even a cushion underneath the knees or a blanket, if you have it, can be helpful. You're going to walk your hands a little wider than the mat, bring the chest forwards. And then I'm going to use two cushions just to elevate the hands a little bit. So you could use quite a lot of cushions here if you wanted to. Don't worry if your chest doesn't reach the ground, especially if you've elevated the hands onto a prop. Again, not too long, around 30 breaths. And more slow breath. Okay, gently, slowly walk it in. Let's have a little cat cow once more. Wonderful. All right, so now for those thighs. Love me or hate me, I know this one's going to be good for you. Step your left foot forwards. You're going to come into dragon. And again, you're going to use some cushions to help you. And I'm going to keep my right knee on the cushion here just to give it a little bit of support. And this is also, as well as going to stretch the right thigh, it's going to stretch the outer left hip as well. You get a double whammy. So we can let this left foot go a little bit wider out to the side, right? And then bring your forearms down. Allow your head to drop. Where are you still holding on to tension that you could actually let go? Of course, the intense posture, breathe into it, surrender into it. Ten more breaths, nearly there. So if you feel like you can take it a little bit further, remove your props and just allow the chest to go a bit further towards the ground. One more inhale. Exhale. All right, release. A great release here. It's just a little hamstring stretch. So sit your seat back to your heel, and you can keep the leg wide, the left side. Okay, lovely. We're going to take it straight into that second side. Stepping the right foot forward, a little wider than the mat. Forearms down, take an inhale. Exhale, surrender, release. Relax your face, your jaw, your shoulders. Ease off the muscles in your neck. Okay, around 10 more breaths. Perhaps you're going to bring your props and release. One more inhale. Exhale. And slowly release back into that hamstring stretch. Half Hanuman with the leg wide. Okay, lovely. So from here, let's lay onto the back. Just before we do one final stretch for those thighs, again, have a little moment, a little bit of time for feedback from the posture. Every exhalation, letting go. I let go of anything that no longer serves me. Okay. Final posture. Do you feel a little lighter? I do. So we're going to do hero's pose. So this one, for a lot of people, it can be a little sticky. So don't worry if you're using quite a lot of props behind you, or you might go all the way down to the ground. Perhaps you're just going to stay like this, right? Upright. Now, if you find your body just doesn't want to do this posture, don't force it, because for some bodies this one is just not good on the knees. It doesn't feel right, and that's where you need to utilize your own yoga, union of mind, body, soul, respecting your own body. So if you do find, okay, whatever variation I'm trying with Virginia and it's not working, sit here, just take a little meditation, take a moment, and you'll get there. Some postures aren't right for all bodies, and then, or maybe you'll find you'll try it another time and it will feel completely different after some more consistent practice. So if you do feel okay, and we're edging the heel in towards the butt as much as we can, and then we're gonna perhaps have a couple of props here and lean back. You could even have an extra one for your head. Or perhaps you find straight away you don't need any props. Depends. It depends on your body. And if that's you, and you can go all the way back, maybe you're staying here, or even arms over the head. This arms over the head, it also can be done with your props there as well. And then for a lot of people, depends what end of the spectrum you're on, then you might not feel very much stretch for your thighs. And if that's you, I want you to think about just hovering the tailbone a little bit and extending a little bit more into the lower back, and you're going to feel straight away that the thighs start to stretch. It's a little less yin, but then you are getting the benefit if you can't feel that stretch to the thighs, which is actually me for this one. Depends on the body type, of course. Let's breathe into it whatever you found that works for you. Nice long inhale, long exhale now. Ten more slow breath. One more inhale. Exhale, slowly bringing yourself back up. I'm going to take the legs out in front. Have a softening to your knees. Just a really gentle forward fold, maybe wiggle out your toes, release any tension. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, come forwards over your legs. Let the head hang heavy. Breathe into the back of the body. Expand in the rib cage with the breath. Okay, and gentle release. Stretching out the legs long, your Shavasana. Legs a little wider than the mat. Arms by your side, palms facing up. Let's take a big inhale. Exhale, sigh, release. Namaste. Thank you for practicing. Rest as long as you need.